Next at 11, new video of the San Bruno explosion, what happened before and after that blast, and new information about the pipeline that ruptured, where it runs here in the Bay Area, and inspections happening right now.
Follow your inner driver to the all-new 2011 Mazda 2. It's Zoom Zoom, concentrated.
I remember being shaken, and the only thing that I could do, because I was in his mouth, the shark was right here and it had me. The only thing I could do was hit him like this.
A fistfight that didn't stop a great white shark from going after this surfer again and again. The series of miracles this local surfer says happened underwater that saved his life. But first,
she just knew how to warm your heart. And there's nothing else I can say other than she's just a beautiful person.
The victims of the San Bruno explosion remembered, just as new information is revealed tonight about the safety of other Bay Area pipelines. And dramatic video tonight reveals the frightening moments before and after a fireball explodes in San Bruno. Good evening. I'm Lisa Kia.
And I'm Jessica Aguirre. But first, new developments happening right now. PG&E is ordered to reduce pressure in the gas line that blew in San Bruno and to inspect all of its main gas lines. For the first time, too, PG&E is now admitting that it took crews an hour and 47 minutes to shut off that gas line when line 132 blew on Thursday, obliterating the Crestmore neighborhood. The wait time adding more fuel to an already explosive situation. We have live team coverage tonight. NBC Bay Area's Gene Ellie was there when homeowners got to go inside their destroyed homes. But first, George Kiriyama with the agonizing stories of loss from families of the victims. George?
Well, Jessica, part of the rebuilding effort in this community will focus on healing, and neighbors and friends are trying to hold each other up, but there's still so much pain.
Nothing else I can say other than she's just a beautiful person, and I'm going to miss her a lot.
Every time Maria De Leon looks at Jessica Morales' picture, she sees the smile that won her heart. Morales was a close family friend. The De Leon saw her just an hour before the explosion.
Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that'd be the last time I would ever see her.
The De Leons are doing what they can to help out Jessica's family.
Just speaking to her mom is heart-wrenching. It's just, you put yourself in the parent's place, and it's just heart-wrenching because I know that how much I loved her daughter. I can't possibly imagine how much she's feeling pain.
Pain is what Harley Strazzarino is feeling right now. His friends, William Bullis, William's father, Greg, and the grandmother, LaVon, have not been found.
So we already had some feeling that they were gone or passed on. It really kind of pushed that forward, and now I think we're all grieving for the loss of our dear friends.
Strazzarino and other close friends have spent the past few days looking for the Bullis family, but no sign at all.
It's really unnerving because, you know, I really want to know what happened to my friend, or if they're there, if they're just lost in the system, and their remains still haven't been found. So I guess there still is that small sliver of hope that they're okay.
Now, we reached out to other families who lost loved ones in this disaster, and they're just not ready to talk. It's too tough right now. We're live in San Bruno tonight. George Kiriyama, NBC Bay Area News.
Their pain is immeasurable. Thank you, George. Now let's move over to Gene Ellie at a town hall meeting with homeowners and city leaders this evening. Gene?
Jessica, dozens of people came here to the Church of the Highlands tonight full of questions and emotion. Many got their first up-close look at the devastation just a few hours ago. Fire victims take an emotional bus tour of what used to be their neighborhood.
Tears, crying, shock, laughter. You know, you have to laugh because, you know, crying is, there's enough of crying.
Disa Shepard's family lived on Glenview for 50 years. The house is gone.
Look, Mom, our home is gone, but not our hearth where we hung our Christmas stockings. So that brings us some peace in our heart, if you can find some right now.
Dozens of residents came to a meeting at Church of the Highlands looking for answers tonight. PG&E admitted it took an hour and 47 minutes to shut the gas off after the rupture. NTSB is looking into why. Politicians want to know why gas pipelines like the one in San Bruno run along the San Andreas Fault and why they are so old.
Experts say that gas pipes usually have a lifespan of between 30 and 50 years. The one in San Bruno that we saw last week and is going to Washington is over 50 years old.
While investigators dig in, 73-year-old Bob Hensel got his first look at what used to be his home on Fairmont. He escaped in a car that is blistered from the heat. He and his wife raised 5 kids in Crestmore. He wants to sift through the ashes.
I don't know, maybe it's just curious to look to see if what is gone, what's there. Jewelry, maybe there's some couple diamonds laying in there somewhere. Well, there should be, but.
Hensel is a retired firefighter used to helping others. As he plans to rebuild, he says offers of help are overwhelming.
When I get to a point when I realize how people are helping me.
Financial and emotional help so many people need. City, state, and federal leaders here tonight urged everyone here to reach out for mental health services. Representative Jackie Spears says PG&E will cover the cost. And tonight, PG&E told the audience if they are too afraid to rebuild here, the agency will consider helping them rebuild somewhere else. Reporting live in San Bruno, Jean Ellie, NBC Bay Area News.
It is tough. Thanks a lot, Jean. And PG&E has set up a $100 million fund to help those victims rebuild. It's pledging to immediately issue checks of $50,000 to help affected residents get started. PG&E already gave $3 million to the city of San Bruno to fix streets, parks, and sidewalks damaged by that fiery explosion. The company says the fund has no strings attached. Well, pieces of that ruptured pipeline are being trucked to Washington, D.C. tonight for analysis. The NTSB says the 28-foot piece of pipe that was launched out of the ground has several welds in it. Investigators believe PG&E pieced together that pipe because the pipe needed to be curved to fit the terrain. But they say where the pipe split is a clean break.
One of those welds was the clean break end of the pipe where you could see a very distinct clean break of the pipe at the weld, and of course we'll be exploring to see whether that was a weld defect. The other end of the pipe was torn and shredded and much less clean.
The NTSB says it's work in the pit, in that crater, it's done. It'll now interview witnesses and review the stream of documents from PG&E. Investigators are also getting emails from people about that smell of gas in the days before the explosion. But so far, the NTSB has not been able to find documented reports of that problem.
Well, new tonight at 11, pinpointing exactly where those high-risk gas transmission lines are in Fremont and Pleasanton, and how dangerous they could be. Last night, we told you that those pipelines existed. The line in Pleasanton, just south of the Alameda County Fairground. Well, tonight, both fire departments have begun reviewing emergency plans. But Fremont's fire chief admits he just learned today that the transmission line that runs east to west over Sunol to 880 is considered the second riskiest, and that PG&E has yet to give him an exact location.
We wait, just as the residents wait, for some definitive information. As I said, we don't have a regulatory role here, but just like anybody, we want to know what the risks are. Since the 80s, California's had a law in the books called the Community Right to Know Law, and it deals with all kinds of hazardous materials. So this falls into that realm.
Now, the chief says while he's working off of a 1973 map, he does know that the line runs under a suburban area with single-family homes, just like in San Bruno. A strategy session, by the way, is planned for tomorrow to try and find out more.
Well, what would be your strategy if you saw this massive fireball coming at you? It's something the owner of a nearby gas station experienced firsthand in San Bruno that night. His surveillance camera was rolling when the neighborhood exploded into chaos. NBC Bay Area's Bob Riddell takes us behind the lens.
Customers at Econo Gasoline on San Bruno Avenue have no idea what is about to hit them. First, a whooshing sound you can't hear on tape that turns their heads.
You gotta watch the debris first that flies there.
Then a sight so horrific, it sends them running.
And this guy just took off without even putting gas in.
Human instinct dictates you run away from danger.
And there's a lady with a little baby, and she's running for her life.
But sometimes instinct is a funny thing.
You're gonna see some people running towards the fire. There's one. Probably he's got a house or something.
At 1 minute 29 seconds into the explosion, a police car shows up and stops other cars from heading down Glenview Drive. More people still try to head to the scene. Some cars slow down to see what is going on. A customer finishes what he has started when this all began, pumping up his car with gas. More police. At roughly 6 minutes 30 seconds, 2 fire trucks arrive. We do not believe they are the first on scene.
The video from this gas station is deceptive. It makes the fireball appear to be closer than it was. The source of those flames, the gas line rupture, was at the bottom of the street, a good 4 to 5 blocks away.
But the flame is so big, it looks like it's right there.
The owner of Econo Gasoline has handed this footage over to the NTSB. After watching it, investigators told him it's going to be very helpful in trying to figure out what caused this gas pipeline to explode.
He was really very impressed with the picture and everything.
In San Bruno, Bob Riddell, NBC Bay Area News.
And with that kind of terror, it's no wonder that a customer there, drove off without paying. But yesterday he went back to that gas station to settle his bill. Just another thoughtful act in a community just beginning to heal. And stay with NBC Bay Area News for continuing coverage of the San Bruno explosion. You can also get the latest updates on our website, NBCBayArea.com.
An underwater fistfight with a shark. A local surfer attacked again and again by a great white.
The shark was right here, and it had me. Only thing I could do was hit him like this.
It took 500 stitches, 200 staples to put this 6'3" surfer back together. The miracle, he said, occurred that saved his life.
Then the latest on efforts to free a UC Berkeley grad in Iran. The negotiations her family hopes will help set her free.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jeff Ranieri. Temperatures cooling off quite a bit right now. Already upper 40s and low 50s in the North Bay. And for tomorrow, staying on the cooler side, 10 a.m. in the South Bay, only 63 degrees. And yes, we are tracking showers in our 7-day forecast. Details just ahead.
Hello, everybody. I'm Raj Mathai. 49ers head coach Mike Singletary, crisis management, and it's only week number 1. He dropped the D word.
I don't think all of a sudden, oh man, we're not any good. We're not,
the extraordinary measures taken by the coach last night and today. We'll see you later in this newscast.